Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Tiffany with Voices for Independence, Fitness and Activities. Tonight I'm continuing my series on cooking across America, and I'm trying to squeeze myself into the camera shot here. I have the camera set up so you can see the two burners on the stovetop because today we're not traveling very far from where I'm at. I'm coming at you live from Erie, Pennsylvania, and today in Cooking Across America, our stop is good old Pennsylvania. Now, there were so many options to choose from, and I was thinking of ideas and looking through. I realized that more of them are regionally popular foods. Like here in Erie, we have some favorites. It's more brands. Like we have the Smith's hot dogs, and we have Romulo's chocolates, sponge candy, and we have pepperoni balls. But when I was trying to think on the grand scheme of things in Pennsylvania in general and what it was known for across the country, I settled on the good old Philly cheesesteak. So the little bit of history there, I had some more, and unfortunately, I thought I printed my notes and I didn't have them right next to me. I'll share them with you, though. It's a really cool story. So the Philly cheesesteak originated back in the 1930s by a gentleman, I do have his name, Pat Olivieri. And he actually was a hot dog vendor, and one day he had some steak strips that he had bought from the butcher who was running a special, and he just started cooking up some strip steaks, and a cab driver was driving by his hot dog stand and smelled the steak and asked for a steak sandwich. And from then on, Pat's hot dog stand became infamous. It passed quickly through the cab drivers in the area, and being Philadelphia and huge metropolis, all the cab drivers were headed to his location to get a steak sandwich. And later on, he ended up opening a shop. And ironically, there was a sandwich shop close by on the actual opposite side of the street where he opened his Philly cheesesteak shop. And it was actually a meat stand as well, and they actually became rivals from the north side to the south side of the street, and today it is still a rivalry between the two Philly cheesesteak stands. It's as big a rivalry as the baseball teams are in New York City between the Yankees and the Mets, they say. Both places are open 24/7, and they both offer the Philly cheesesteak sandwich with their own twists. And I guess there is, if you look into it, you better know before you get in that line how you want to order your cheesesteak. There's special lingo when you get up to the window and a certain way to order it at each Philly cheesesteak stand. So you better have it right, or you get ridiculed by not only the cooks in the kitchen, but by the other people in line. It's real serious business, folks. So your better option is probably like I'm doing here, is making them for yourself at home. All you have to do is you need some peppers, onions, and possibly mushrooms if you like it that way. And you're just going to slice them and dice them up, slice them into strips. You'll have 2 bell peppers and a half of a medium onion, and we put them in a little bit of oil over here, and I'm sauteing them until tender. So they're cooking right now in a bent on. In the meantime, you want to get some sirloins from your local butcher or deli department at the grocery, and that's what I have done. I've got some sliced sirloin, which is just really thinly sliced sirloin steak. As you can see, it's almost paper thin. So what you'll want to do is cut it into strips and then put it in your pan to cook. Mine's so thin, it's falling apart, so I'm just going to set it right in my pan. It's going to sizzle away. We want to cook this up until it's no more red showing on the steak. And you can add your seasonings, which is just a little bit of salt and pepper for taste. As I'm throwing mine on here, I'm just going to keep it going. I'm going to rip it up into pieces because you want to chop it into little pieces. Because that's how we're going to serve it on the sandwich. Now, the only true seasonings in this is a little bit of salt and pepper and a little bit of garlic powder, and was the original way. Let me turn my heat down a little bit so you can still hear me. So as your vegetables are sauteing, you want to do your meat in a separate pan, and we want to cook this until it's done. And as your vegetables get closer to finish, what you're going to do is you are going to take your fresh provolone cheese or whatever cheese you choose. Again, There's options on the Philly cheesesteak when you get to these authentic Philly cheesesteak restaurants. The original was provolone, but now you can order it with almost any kind of cheese. Provolone is still most popular, followed by American and then mozzarella. So I'm just going to trim my meat over here, get that all browned up. It won't take long as it's sliced really thin. And then once my vegetables are to the tenderness I like, I'm simply going to take my cheese slices and put them right on top of the vegetables. So I have some Colby Jack here and a little bit of provolone mix. So I'm going to have my vegetables in my saute pan, and then I'm just going to lay the cheese right on top. Cover it with a, oh goodness, dropping everything. Cover it with a lid till the cheese gets nice and stringy melty, and then you just assemble your sandwich right on a fresh bakery roll. So as we're cooking across America, we're not traveling too far from our home state here in Pennsylvania, making a stop in Philadelphia for the traditional Philly cheesesteak. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I will share it in the comments below as I finish up and start to construct my sandwich. I will include the recipe in the comments. And if you guys want to include any comments about how you order your traditional Philly cheesesteak, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and I appreciate you stopping by to watch. I hope you have a great night. Thanks, guys.